Sure. Kind of going big picture here, Juwan, but enough people have asked me this that I'm going to ask you. Do you think there's any merit to the players on the team, I guess, sort of buying into the preseason hype? You guys were ranked in the top 10, picked to win the Big Ten, things like that. Have you sensed, in the first 2 months of the season, any of that among the team? Like, all right, we need to get to work and not just assume, we're going to win games or no?
No, I have not sensed anything like that with our group. Our team understands the big picture, but they also understands that no team wins in the preseason. That you win in March and April, excuse me. So we're very humble. We also are a group that will continue to do wherever we can to continue to get better and better and look at it by game, not always looking ahead, because that's unrealistic. And I'm sure. Yeah.
Thanks.
Next is Nick Stoll from the Michigan Daily.
Juwan, how do you feel about the freshmen's development so far this season, and what can Big Ten competition kind of do for that development?
I love, where our freshmen are from a headspace as well as from a talent level, and the improvement that I'm seeing from our freshmen in practice as well as in some of the work that they put in individually when I'm not around. Because of the amount of hours that we're allowed to be around because of car hours. But it has had to be stated that freshmen, it takes freshman time to be able to make an adjustment right out of high school, and to some respects, all freshmen to hit the ground running and play at a high level. And now, how some of these freshmen are being rated like 5 stars and 4 stars. You get the assumption that 5 stars because they've seen some who have dominated in other programs, that all 5 stars are supposed to dominate when they first arrive and touch in live game action. But it takes time to develop. And I have patience for it. And our staff have the patience for it. And the beauty of it is when you get student athletes like our group that ask questions and so passionate about working out, and very disciplined, and have the attitude of the growth mindset. It's beauty to coach guys like that, and that's what we have on our team.
Next up is Michael Cohen from the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Juwan, as you and the staff have gotten ready for this Rutgers team, I'm guessing you probably watched film of their game against Purdue. What jumped out to you when you watched that game, and what did they do so well to beat a quality opponent on that night?
Well, they've played some games, as you know, after the Purdue game, and they've had some success, and they also haven't had, they lost the game versus Illinois. So, thinking back, to the Purdue game, been such a long time ago. They're a tough team to play at home. It's been that way since the time when I became a coach 2 years ago, and we went to Rutgers, and the building is very loud. Fans are sit right behind you, and some of the student section they can be a little bit wild. We've had beer cans thrown at us. That could be a little bit intimidating. But, what I saw from the Purdue game is a well-coached team that plays with a lot of, toughness. And they also did a really good job of attacking the basket. They also was active in passing lanes. Defensively, they always been a team that really get after you and try to take away a lot of, things that you try to run offensively and some of your strengths. But, when you have a guy like Gio back, which now they have pretty much all their guys back, I know Coach Steve is really excited about having one of his top dogs back.
Next up is Alejandro.
Hey, Juwan. The response from a lot of the players earlier this season through the struggles is it's not even Big Ten season yet. Big Ten is where the season really becomes real. With a young team as you're beginning Big Ten season, well, what's the message to them?
Well, I mean, our non-conference schedule was one, the tough ones, maybe one of the toughest in the conference country, but that's for a reason, because it wanted to prepare us for a Big Ten season that you're going to play against some, high-level teams like Purdue and Michigan State, Rutgers, and the name keeps going on and on and on. And, our goal is always to prepare our guys to compete at a high level and make sure that we are preparing to practice to get better and better and to be one of the last standing teams towards the end of the Big Ten conference play. So we won and won. We lost one at home and won one on the road. We're just going to take one game at a time. Now we're going into Lions Den, which is tomorrow at Rutgers. And it's going to be a tough one. But I'm looking forward to seeing our guys and showing their level of competitiveness, which I know that they will be ready to compete, start to finish.
Next up is Daniel Dash.
Juwan, after the last two losses, players, I think Eli and Devontae namely, have said that other teams haven't really felt you guys on offense, that your defense hasn't been physical enough. I guess what has to change for other offenses to feel you guys on defense?
Well, we just got to learn how to finish games and eliminate the mistakes. Every time that we have a defensive breakdown or mistake, we always get hurt the wrong way, and that's either with a three or a 3-point play from our opponent at the wrong time. But that's a part of learning how to win, and I believe we are doing that.
We have next up is James Hawkins from the Detroit News.
Hey, Juwan, kind of just sticking with the defense. After the UCF loss, Devontae said he feels with the team than offense at this point. I guess just where do you feel like this team maybe hasn't been meeting the standards that you guys expect on the defensive end?
Well, we gave up 51% shooting from the field goal last game and 40% from three. And, some of the shots that Central Florida made were, well contested shots. Some where a guy were in his face and got a handball contest, and the guy made a step back three or pushed off and then got open and shot a three. We hadn't had those possessions where consistently where we haven't run into a team that wasn't shooting the ball well against us. Like, I look back on North Carolina game where young man Caleb Love hit some deep threes, and I don't think I've seen him make any other deep threes like that other than when he played against us. So we will get better on the defensive end. We've shown it. We will continue to teach it, grow it. We continue to show it on film. We have a lot of different defensive schemes that we trust, that we will continue to keep improve on, and we will stay positive during this process.
And then Devontae also said that he feels like you guys need to be a better second half team. I guess just how do you do that? I guess what do you feel like maybe isn't carrying over at times from the first to second halves in some of these past losses?
I will say this: we will continue to learn how to win games and finish games, and compete, and try to play with a level of togetherness, toughness for 40 minutes.
Next up is Andrew from MLive again.
Juwan, what do you make of Moose's sort of offensive evolution as the season has gone? He looks pretty comfortable scoring inside with back to the basket and kind of facing up, and he made a three the other night. Like, are you starting to see more from him on that end of the floor?
The guy puts in the work. He puts in the work in practice. He puts in a lot of work individually with me, and he does it on his own. But it's not just the package of being able to deliver on the offensive end. He will continue to work on his defensive prowess out there on the floor, because we need not only just Musa but all of our guys to play have an impact on the game on both ends of the floor. But Musa has an opportunity to be special because of how his mindset is wired. He's not going to half-ass it. He's going to put in full effort with everything he does.
Thanks.
Anybody have anything else? Coach, we have a question from John Nio from the Detroit News.
Hey, Juwan, just along those same lines, what's the next step you think for Kobe with the opportunity he got last game, last couple games, et cetera?
He's getting better and better, man. I expect some great things for Kobe throughout the year. And I'm just happy that Kobe is wearing that maize and blue uniform, because I wouldn't want to see him in any other uniform, because these kid's going to be, he's going to do some special things for the University of Michigan because of the way how he's just so skilled and athletic. And he also has that mindset like Musa, hard worker, not going to, shortcut anything, ask great questions, and wants to help the team win.
Coach, I think that's going to do it for you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Stay safe, everyone.